Hello, thank you once again. In this tutorial, we are going to proceed with the project we've been working on. This is the fourth installment project. As I stated earlier, we are going to do something a bit more interesting here. What we are going to do uh, is to host a static website in the instance that we created or that we are going to create again because I've already destroyed one I created earlier. In the previous videos, we have used Terraform to provision an EC2 instance, created security groups, which is what part of it you're looking at now. Um, in order not to waste time, let us go on. We will need a new file in our project. This file, I'm going to call it website.sh. You can call it whatever you want. And but it's important to make sure that it's an XH file because this will be like a shell script. This is what we are going to run. What you're looking at now, this is a packet manager. So we are going to first of all, the intention is that once our instance is provisioned, so it's going to run this script, including some other things that we are going to write in our project. So it's going to, first of all, update this packet manager, which is the apt packet manager. It's going to install Apache 2, which is HTTP web server. That's what this line would do. So here, as you can see, we have -y. The reason we have -y here is that when the installation begins, because it will be quite a very long, it will take quite some time. It's like a lot of files there. So when it starts with this -y, it's not going to stop asking us to accept or to reject and so forth. So it's going to run till the end. Then we have this system, I call it system control, some call it system CTL. What it will do is that after the instruction, it's going to start the Apache 2 that got installed. After that, this is going to enable the Apache 2. And then we have this, is going to download this very file, this zip file. After it's downloaded, it's going to unzip it, right? It's going to unzip the file, this very zip file. After that, it's going to copy everything and send it, or rather move it into this very folder, which will be in the web server. After it moves it there, it's going to restart the Apache 2 again. That's basically what this script is going to do. And if you want, I can actually show you, let me show you where I got this this very template from. That template I got from this website. It's called a template, free HTML templates for websites. When you come here, you are going to find different kinds of websites, so you can choose one from there. The one I'm going to use is this one. I like this website so much. I think it looks so cute. That's what I'm going to use. So after we provision our server, we are going to launch it. The next thing we will need is what is called provisioner. So provisioner, you can find all this information that we are going to use now. You can find them in developer.hashicorp.com. I'm going to post the link in the description section of this video. We are going to make use of it. When you go there, you just navigate to File. And what we are going to use here, as you can see, there are different examples of how to use this. What we are going to use, let me see. We are going to use, let us copy this. We copy this and we go to our instance file. This is, if you remember my file, I called it EC2 instance. So you probably called yours something else. So when you go there, you just make sure that you post it at the right position. So first of all, as you can see, this very piece of code ends here. So it is part of this web server, um, so to say. So I'm going to post it here. And what it's going to do, we are going to use this to copy our file, which was what we just wrote in the website.sh file. And here we are going to make some basic changes. So the file that is going to be copied, let's call it website.sh, which is the same website that we just wrote now, right? So because if you mine is in the same folder where the whole project is. So that's why I have it this way. So if yours is in a different folder, so the path might be different. So the source would be this, and then the destination would be, let's say, temp, and then website.sh. So temp is a folder that would exist in our web server. The next thing we need now is to find out how to connect to the web server after this source this file is moved. For that, we need to go back to our website. You are going to find one called connections, as you can see. So connections, what we need here would be this. Let us just copy these connections. We go back to our code and paste it right below the file provisioner. Here we are going to make some basic changes. The first change we need to make is the type. How are we going to connect to our device in AWS? In that case, we are going to use SSH, secure shell. So we need the username. So what the username that we are going to use here. So what we need to do here, we are going to go back to our variable file and create a new variable. Mine, I'm going to call it a username. And then we are going to set a default username. Default username, I'm going to call it Ubuntu. And the reason I'm calling it Ubuntu is just that the default username for the device we are going to provision, the default username is Ubuntu because it's going to be an Ubuntu machine. So if you use something different, so you might want to modify it to reflect that. After this, the next thing we need to do, we are going to use this username in one of our files. So let's go back to our instance file. We already have SSH. We are going to call that username here. To do that, as always, we are going to call our variable username. So this is the same as the username that we just created now. So now it's going to pick up that username Ubuntu. The next thing we need to do, here we are going to use our private key. The private key that we are going to use, we are going to make use of file function, and we are going to use our private key. The private key is, if you remember the one we created earlier, so it's going to be a private key. In my own case is this access key. That's what I called it, access key. So if you called yours something different, that's what you might want to use. Then the host would be the host that we are going to create, serve.ip. We are going to host IP I say host IP, public P, sorry. It should be public IP. Host.public IP, that will be the host. The next thing that we need to do is to define how we are going to remotely execute our code or our file. To do that, let's go back to our documentation. There is another provisioner called remote-exec, which is, let's look for it. There is one called local exec, as you can see here, but what we want is the remote exec because we are going to execute this remotely, right? In this case, we need to copy only this, the provisioner we are going to use to execute the code. Let's paste it here also, and we are going to make some changes here. What we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to change mode of the file that we are going to execute, and the file is temp website.sh, and then we are going to connect to the to the server, which is temp website.sh. So this is going to change the permission. Let me see. Seems like my C is in uppercase. Okay, that's fine. So we are going to change the permission and then be able to connect. Oh, we need a CD here to be able to connect to the server, as you can see. So this is basically all that we needed. What we're now going to do is to go on and execute our code. Just make sure that you save everything. So the changes we made to our project is that we created a new variable username in our variable file. Then we have this new file website.sh. Then we have in our instance file, we have these three different sets of code, as you can see. And another important thing to point out here is that it is important to make sure that in your security group that you have, let me find my, all right. So you need to make sure that in your security group that you have port 80 because the Apache 2 we are going to use runs on port 80. So I've already allowed the port 80. It's also important to have this port 22 also for the purpose of connecting to the server remotely. Once you have all these complete, we are going to go back and run our code. Now I'm back to my EC2, to my AWS account. As you can see, we haven't got any instances here because I destroyed the one I created earlier. We are going to deploy our device now. To do that, let's first of all, let me see what I've got here. And I've got all the files. The next thing I want to do is to initialize the code. That's good. Let's also validate. Success. Now let's see. Now we are going to see if there is a mistake in our code. I hope not. Okay, there's no mistake. As always, everything seems to be okay. Let's see. Everything looks good. What we are going to do now, let us apply. As you know, we have more, there are some, let's say yes. There are some, the executions that are going to take place here based on the new files that we created, which means that this is going to take longer. So it might take quite a bit of time. There is an error somewhere. Let's see, no such file. So something is missing. Let me find out what it is. Oh, I just saw that I made a mistake here. This should be website, but I had two S's there. I believe that could be the reason. Let me run it again. Let me clear the screen. Oh, I'm trying to be fast with this. That's why I'm making some kind of silly mistakes. I'm going to validate it again. Oh, Terraform validate. Let's plan. Something is going to be destroyed. As you can see, that's because of the changes that we made. Let us plan. And now let us apply. So everything looks okay. Let me say yes. This is going to take quite some time, and hopefully there won't be any error again. We got another error again. This is line 25. Line 25 in my instance file. Let me see what it's about. Line 25, which is somewhere here. Let's see. Oh my. This should be plus X. Apologies. Like I said, I was just trying to be as fast as possible with this tutorial. Let me do this again. Let me do this again. Let's plan. Like I said, I was just trying to make this to be as fast as possible, but then we encounter this error.
Sitting in the the basement apartment I rented with you. Remembering the holiday party we had with the crew. Romeo was roaming the garden. Saturday was spent in...
Yeah, everything seems to be okay. Completed. One resource has been added, nothing was changed, and something was destroyed. So this was related to the changes that we made. The next thing we need to do now is to go back to the AWS and see if it's successfully installed. Let me refresh. Yeah, as you can see, I've got a new web server. We also have our security groups. Make sure that you have both port 80 and port 22. Let's go back to the details. Let me copy this, the public IP, and just insert it in the browser. So that's the website that we hosted. Like I said, I love this website so much. I've used it in different projects that I've been involved in. So what about yours? Did it work? I hope it did. So that's how you can use, how we can provision a static website using Terraform, and obviously the other codes that we have in our project. The next thing we need to do next is to load balance our website, right? So that's what we are going to do in the next video. We are going to also create a load balancer using Terraform. And I hope it's going to be, you are going to find it interesting, because for me, I find this very interesting as well. So that's it for now. The next thing I need to do is to destroy, so we do not accumulate a lot of fees. No, destroy. So that will be it for now. Thank you so much, and I hope you are going to check out the next video related, which is related to load balancers. Thank you. Bye.